Hey everybody, it's James with Radius Plus here at ISS Las Vegas, and here I'm joined today by my friend Damon Emerson from StorSuite. Damon, you keep your ear to the ground with so many owners. What demand signals are you looking out for in 2026?
Well, when you're talking to, owner operators every day, you try to do a duel. You try to talk to them, and then if you get a chance to talk to their people, what they're hearing, what's going on. So what I've been trying to do is as I'm state to state talking to owner operators, kind of what are they doing currently? What plans do they have? Are they looking to build, now? What are they hearing from the construction in their state to state, right? And market to market, everyone kind of follows the same areas. You follow California, you follow New York, what's going on, with the big investors, what's going on with the bigger vendors, living in the vendor world, what is going on in the world of storable, right? Are they selling? Are they doing this? What is happening, right?
Right.
So for me, it's watching from afar and seeing what advancements are being done. I've been doing this so long that it's also understanding what are their customers saying. So if I talk to someone on marketing or tenant protection, or if I talk to someone on third-party management and they're working with a product, what are they saying the responses are in dealing with that vendor? Has it gotten easier? Is it more frustrating? Is it more communication? Is it lack of communication?
Yeah.
That tells you a lot, because when you start following the bigger companies, and I'm not talking the REITs, like the REITs are the REITs. The REITs are always going to try to conglomerate. They're always going to try to overpower the markets. It's what they do. It's what they have to do. For me, it's just being able to sit back, listen, and then just use, 19 years of experience and hope that I get it right.
Gotcha. So let me dive into that a little further then. Which areas operationally do you see that the industry is still very deficient in terms of supporting owner operators?
So, everyone knows me as the risk averse guy, the insurance protection guy. And over the last couple of years, I've been trying to get myself out of that bubble.
Yeah.
Which who knew it was going to be as tough as it is. But what has happened is, as being an owner in StorSuite and overseeing from the sales cycle and the process, what I've found is, dealing with someone just now, I'm going to just use the term, he's like, well, New York money, right?
Yeah.
Kind of funny. There's money in other areas too, but understanding what's going on with, let's look at marketing and websites for a quick second before I talk a little bit about management. But marketing and websites, right? We have this growing demand of a software company now has to not just be software, they also have to be a website, a marketing company. They have to offer you insurance or protection. They got to offer you gate access. They have to do all these different things. What I'm finding that is happening, and what is a frustration for me personally, you have these same website companies that are marketing software companies who are telling people that the only way you can use this marketing is through their software.
Oh, so
Now,
owning every point of it.
But what I find to be frustrating is, and this is going to be something, pointed at Storable. Storable started this idea of everything in one basket, but their plan was to help the industry, right? The rest of the industry wanted to make it a negative and make, Storable the bad guy. What Storable was trying to do is, what if we could create a path and make things easier for owner operators to be able to have everything from one central area? Can it be done?
I mean, that feels like a solid positive.
It should be. But what you're having is, you have these tight knit, there's a software company out of New York that has been really pushing only 2 programs that can only work. And what they're telling owner operators is, if you can't work with any other company because these are the only ones that work with us. And to me, there's just a question of frustration. And is that really the best way to do it? You have it on the West Coast now. This is the idea that I think some software companies are trying to do. And my hope is that they get away from it, because at the end of the day, we cannot forget, we're not vendors if we don't have clients who trust us, right? And if you don't have a client that trusts you, why are you in this space, right? If you're just in this space because you want to build it up quickly to then sell, get out of the space now, right? It's not worth doing it for me. So what I've been finding is, on the marketing website side, that has been a lot more talk than I had seen in the last year. And it's been exciting, because what you're able to do is just figure out what is the most transparent way about it. What are your real needs? And is it something that we can help, or is it something that someone else has to help? And if we can't, we're going to try to help you along the way to your next step. That's what I want us to do as a company, right? Third-party management to me, as we are doing more now than I think we've done since StorSuite started, and it's not like we couldn't, we decided to take a step back and really watch what the industry was doing, try to figure out, do we believe hub and spoke is the way? Do we believe that it should be remote? How important is a manager? How important is an operations person? And what we found is having someone, a live body, and we've all heard it, we've all said it, is incredibly important, right?
It makes a big difference in your conversion rate and movements.
Everything, right? And it's what allows you to see what's going on that you always can't see with remote. Now, with that being said, I believe in hub and spoke, and I think there is a power to that. Why? Because you might have 5, 6 facilities at a market, and you can have one person that oversees them, right? That's powerful. And I wish from a management side, we shared that more with owners. I wish the industry as a whole, right? Instead of seeing LinkedIn or social media or all this, we'll call it propaganda, not in a negative term, but just instead of trying to make it about, well, how little you'll pay and here's how big we are, why don't we get away from that and make it more about, here's really what we want to do to help you, right? And that's what I think the industry is starting to wake up to that a little bit, because some of the questions I've had in 2 days here has been interesting because, one, we've had more people ask about third-party management, which means we're kind of entering the next cycle where people are now in the process of, I just want a company that will listen to me. I want to know that I'm not being told what an owner I am. I'm telling them the owner that I want to be and what I need, and they're being listened to. And I think right now with a lot of the companies out there, when you have management companies buying or merging with, they have 200 stores and they're merging with 100, facility company, people are going to get lost in the weeds, right? When you have a management company that goes from 250 to 500, people get lost within the weeds, right?
So do you think consolidation in a sense is providing a diluted service then to some of the smaller owners within that sort of group?
I don't think you can get around it. I think it's inevitable. The companies that do it right see that from the get-go, and they try to build, and they're transparent. I mean, you know me well enough to know that I will talk about transparency until I'm blue in the face. And I think the companies that are having success are the ones that are taking a step to be transparent with their client base and the industry to say, listen, we did this. We are here for you. It's not always going to be easy. And mistakes will be made. What we promise is that we will communicate. And what I'm seeing happen a lot, that's not always the case. They buy and it's, hey, look how big we are. Look at where we are. We've arrived. When the fact of the matter is, you arrived before you ever merged. You did things to help your client. And I think what we're going to start seeing is, I think we're going to see an uptick in management. I think you're going to see an uptick in the demand, right? And again, I'm not talking about the REITs. The REITs are what they are, right? They are going to continue to be the power of the industry. What I'm talking about are these other companies, whether you're 250, 500 managed contracts, you're someone who owns 50 stores, you're someone who owns 2 stores or 10 stores, it doesn't matter. I think what's going to start happening is you're going to start needing more out of your vendor, and the demand is going to have to get addressed. I think in the next 12 months, part of it's a hope, part of it's what I'm seeing is in the next 12 months, we're going to slowly, every few months, we're going to start seeing a little bit of the stress get ticked away, right? And I think you're going to start seeing, I am not one to say that we're in a recession. I'm not one to say that we're hurting. I know my business partner from an operations standpoint will say, yeah, listen, we've seen some hits in the industry. We see that some of the buying deals are going down. But I am, from a vendor standpoint and talking to the potential clients out there,
The owners.
well, what I'm seeing is it's not hope. What I'm seeing is there's a need, and through that need, if you do the right thing and you're there to help them, then it's going to continue to improve the industry, right?
So what help specifically could you highlight that you think owners are not being sufficiently supported in?
Communication, transparency. Like, I think it's great that you have a complete customer service team, but if it takes 2 days to get back to someone, you're failing. If your answer to someone is email this for customer service and we'll be able to help you, you're failing. If you cannot give a client, a single person, or a team that client can go, I know A, B, C, D, and E. If you can't provide that, you are failing them.
So do you think that communication with an owner from your management partner will be a big differentiator going into this next cycle, as
Yes.
since operations is such under scrutiny due to the softened demand market?
Absolutely. I think it's being demanded. And I think there's some companies that are ignoring it, and there's some companies that are trying to throw money at it. And then you have the companies that are trying to listen, right?
Gotcha.
And listen, I'm not a, I worked with Storable for 2 years. I watched Storable grow. I was there before. I've been here obviously after. And I did the letter that I did on the video about, how API matters for, because of what was going on with Storable. But, you can knock them whichever way you want. But at the end of the day, they have 20 people here, right? Why? Because they want to make sure they're taking care of their business. Do they make mistakes? Oh God, yeah. Do we make mistakes? Sure. It's going to happen. But I will say, when you have companies like that, when you have companies, like CubeSmart and the REITs that are making sure that you're getting your questions answered, and you create teams for that, it shows that it works.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where I think it has to be done. You have to be able to provide your client what you promised them at the get-go.
Right.
And it's not just, hey, we're going to make you more money, right? If you're not able to help them in the long run, you shouldn't be a business.
Yeah, I think I want to expand on that point a little bit. It's no surprise that a lot of deals that penciled in the past couple of years are not hitting projections. I think what is surprising to owners is maybe the perceived lack of accountability from a management partner throughout this process, the changing market, where they're not getting communicated with enough, or getting some type of answer as to why it's not hitting projections.
Yeah.
Or any type of communication throughout that process. Is it fair to say that the standard should be raised in third-party management moving forward?
I think so. Again, today's been an interesting day. Before I got onto the trade show floor and now, and just fielding calls, because we have had an influx in people looking for management, more than I'd seen in a while. And part of it is, and I am very appreciative of the fact that my reputation is strong, and people are typically, it's, hey, talk to Damon, he's going to tell you the right thing. So I love that. But at the same time, trying to navigate, okay, well, who are you talking about? What's going on? Why are you unhappy? Why do you need this now?
Right there.
And a lot of what the frustration is, and you said accountability, I think is such a great word, because management companies for a very long time, it's not that they're not held accountable, but I think they try to focus on a handful of areas, and accountability is never one of them, because at the end of the day, it always seems to be the fault of the owner or the market, and not the person who took 2 days to get back to you, or who is your field rep, and why are they trying to force you to go with a vendor they want, or changing your out form, or just shrugging off what your concerns are. I don't know when this sudden lack of empathy for clients came into play, but I'm seeing it a lot more than normal. And that's not to say it's because we're so great. That is not the point. I believe we're good, and I believe we're strong, but I will still be the guy that at the end of the day, I'm going to sit here, and maybe I won't call a company out by name, because I certainly don't want to hurt people's feelings. But my goal at coming to shows like this is, I want to plant a seed so people know to ask the right questions, and that they know that, listen, I'm not wrong for wanting more out of my vendor, right? And somewhere over the last couple of years, owners start feeling like it's their fault. And that's what we have to try to change.
Damon, that's a powerful message. I hope anyone who watches this on the our socials watches it through the end, because it's a definitely.
I apologize for the last.
No, it's
I kind of got into it there. I'll get off my soapbox here in a second. Here,
No, I appreciate you being so transparent and open with what you're seeing in the market. I think it's an important message. Where can people get in contact with you for StorSuite, or just contact you personally?
Phone number is 717-870-9572. You can call me, whatever. You can text me, or you can email me to damone@storsuite.com, and that's StorSuite, StorSuite.com. I'm here to help whatever. And listen, if my company can't help you, I guarantee you I will find someone who can, because it's my place and journey in this industry now. So,
well, that's a powerful promise. Thank you, Damon. Thank you for doing it in the industry, and thank you for your time.
I appreciate you guys very much. You guys do a great job.